Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Grind Never Stops podcast. So today we'll be talking about the NBA and we'll be doing the MVP predictions and opinions from other guys. But if you look at now in the Eastern Conference, you obviously got Joel Embiid, who is most likely to be a legitimate key MVP nominee. And before I start getting with everyone, I'll just give you my nominations. I don't think Giannis Antetokounmpo could be an MVP because they have struggled this season, but I think Giannis is just doing the same thing he done last year, and there won't be a result until the playoffs start because you know what Giannis can only do is dunk, drive, and play defense. And people be like, oh, he's shooting threes. He shot 4 for 6 from downtown against the Nets twice. And last year, remember, he went off for like 7 threes against the Lakers. Because only on nationally televised regular season games, Giannis Antetokounmpo shoots amazing from three. But important games like the NBA playoffs, like last season, the year before, he was not shooting threes. He was shooting threes, but he wasn't shooting threes in the way he shoots when he plays big games, but in a regular season. But other than that, there's not another MVP candidate. One that could be would be either Russell Westbrook or Bradley Beal, but once again, they're 10th place in the East. But it's not a team MVP, but the last since 2017 and down, the people that won the MVP, sometimes it's not the team record and sometimes it's the team record. But I think in the East, because for Brooklyn, all of their players have missed games, and the one that's close to MVP is James Harden. Kyrie missed half of the season. James Harden missed half of the season before he got traded to Brooklyn Nets. He has missed the last month with a hamstring injury, and he's probably not gonna return in a regular season. And hopefully he'll be back for game one for the Brooklyn Nets. And for the Bucks, I don't put Giannis as an MVP. I don't think so. And other than that, like Julius Randle is having an amazing season, but that is not. He's not putting MVP numbers. He's not playing like an MVP. And that's all in the Eastern Conference. And even though I think the East does not have huge MVP players, except Philly, Brooklyn, and Milwaukee. And the rest is history. The rest is history in the Eastern Conference. But for the West, they got a big boys conference because they have a lot of MVP like players. Example, the Phoenix Suns are first in the West, but I don't take the record as an MVP in the MVP player. So I could put Chris Paul as an MVP because he's been the most valuable player to his team, and that's why they're first place. The Jazz, even though they have set records, I don't think they got an MVP type player. But even the Clippers too, Kawhi has missed a lot of games this season. Paul George could be, but I don't take him as an MVP because he has struggled in important games. But this is not about the playoffs or what he's done in the past. It's what this season. But I don't think that he could be an MVP candidate. But for the Nuggets, the player that will most likely win this award is Nikola Jokic. We'll talk about stats in just a second. For the Mavericks as well, you got Luka Doncic, who's putting MVP numbers, and he's playing like an MVP. And then for the Lakers, I would put LeBron and AD, but both of them has missed most of the season, so you can't give him that. And the Golden State Warriors, who are in ninth place. And the person that could have a chance to win the MVP is number 30, Steph Curry, who made 300 threes this season, averaging 30 points a night. And that's without Klay Thompson. Imagine Klay was not injured. Who knows how much he'll be averaging. But other than that, like, the Spurs do not have an MVP. The Pels could have one, is Zion, but he's not putting MVP-like numbers. So that's about it. But I think it will be between Steph Curry, Nikola Jokic, and Joel Embiid. And as you can see, Joel Embiid has been playing well this season. And yes, he's missed 10 games, but most of his games was COVID-19 and sprains. But I think Joel Embiid has a big chance. The process. A 7-foot center as an MVP candidate since Shaquille O'Neal. So he's averaging, in 46 games he has played, he's averaging over close to 30 points a game, 10 rebounds, 50% from the field, 36% from three, and 85% from the free throw line. And Joel Embiid is a post player. He can shoot the three. He can defend. He can shoot the mid range. He can pull up from the free throw line. He can do anything on the floor. But the question is if he can stay healthy for the playoffs. But we're not talking about the playoffs. We're talking about now. And Joel Embiid is having a career season, is having an MVP-like season, is the reason why the Sixers are first in the Eastern Conference with less than 10 games left. And it's not because of Ben Simmons, because Ben Simmons only plays defense, and he has scored single-digit points, rebounds, assists many times, even though he had triple-doubles. So I think that Joel Embiid is a strong case to win the MVP. But Joel Embiid did not lose Ben Simmons most of the season. Is not losing Ben Simmons for the rest of the year, because Nikola Jokic, the center from Serbia, is setting records as a center. He's flirting of averaging a triple-double. And Jamal Murray missed some games at the start of the year. And he has missed the last 2 weeks and is going to miss the whole season with the torn ACL. And we hope he can play in the NBA playoffs. But Nikola Jokic, no Murray, no problem. No Michael Porter Jr. Getting Aaron Gordon. He still is putting magnificent numbers. And right now he's having a toe injury. He injured that in the last game. But Nikola Jokic is amazing, guys, and he was underappreciated since he got drafted. And he was always criticized, even last season, even though they reached the Western Conference Finals against the Red Hot Lakers. No one appreciated on what he's doing on the floor. Because right now, he's averaging close to 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 8.5 assists as a center, as a big man center. And Jokic is shooting better from the field at 56%, better from three at 40%, and better at 86% for the free throw line. And he's averaging more steals per game than Joel Embiid. He's fouling less than Joel Embiid. He has 55 double-doubles, 15 triple-doubles as a center. So I think Jokic makes a bigger, stronger case to win the NBA MVP. And last but not least is the Golden State Warriors. And before I talk about Steph Curry, the Sixers are first in the East at 44-21. The Nuggets are fourth in the West at 43-22. And the Golden State Warriors are tied for 8th for the play-in tournament. We will talk about that in another episode, because I don't Like, I could like and not like the play-in tournament, but Warriors are 33-33 at 500 at ninth in the West. And yes, the last 5 MVP winners, it wasn't because of the record. Sometimes it was because of the record. But Steph Curry is doing what nobody ever thought that he would be doing. As Michael Jordan said, he took that personally. Steph Curry is just doing things that no 32-year-old point guard who's had injuries in the past to do what he's been doing at this age. And the only all-star or player he's got playing with him on the court is Draymond Green. Because I don't think Wiggins is someone that you can rely on. Like Stephen A. Smith said, he would trade Andrew Wiggins for a box of cookies. And I don't certainly agree with him, but Wiggins is not the player that everyone thought he was when he was drafted first overall in the NBA draft. But Steph Curry is red hot, and he had a big streak of 30 points every game, and now in 4 consecutive games he has scored 30 or more, and the last 2 he scored 37 or more. And Steph Curry is on fire. He's averaging 31 points per game, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds, with shooting close to 50% from the field, close to 42% from 3, and close to 91% for the free throw line. And he's still averaging only 3 turnovers per game. So I think all 3 guys have a big chance. But if you look at me and tell me who has a better chance, it's between Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic. But I wouldn't be surprised. In fact, I'd be happy if Steph Curry wins the MVP. Because people might think that he got robbed of finals MVPs and MVPs, but I think if Steph Curry wins it, everyone will be happy. Or even Jokic or Joel Embiid. Because all these players have worked their hardest through, example, Embiid has worked through injuries and failures in the playoffs, failures in the regular season, having 60 lost seasons. Nikola Jokic has been working hard after he was a big body, and now he's been doing what nobody thought centers can do. And for Steph Curry, he has fought and fought through ankle injuries in the past. He has fought through failures in the NBA Finals. He's been criticized because he can only do work on the floor if he has 10 Hall of Famers. And he has 1 star. Draymond Green is not an all-star. He's a star. He's a great defender, a wonderful passer and rebounder, but he's not a shooter. So it's Steph Curry is doing everything on the floor. And sometimes the Warriors are close in the game when Steph Curry is not shooting the ball well. But every time Steph Curry shoots the ball amazing, they always win. But that's about it for this short segment as we talked about the NBA MVP candidates. And yes, we have left a lot of people on the board because of injuries, because they haven't been playing MVP like. And maybe Chris Paul could be an MVP, but Chris Paul can maybe win the MVP. He could be the Steve Nash, because Steve Nash averaged 17 points and 10 assists, while Kobe that season averaged 30 points. Shaq averaged 25 and 12. So maybe he could be the Steve Nash and win the MVP. But we will see what's going to happen next to end the regular season, as there's 10 games remaining. Stay tuned for our next segment as we'll be talking about the play-in tournament in the NBA. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below to like and comment and share on all your social media. Peace!